Okay, so this video is going to help you understand how to determine your gross profit dollar amount for your company using the gross profit dollar new feature within the program. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Help tab, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and there's a very brand new link here that says GP dollar help. Click on that, and what I'm going to have you do, obviously, this information is yours. It's not getting collected into our website. You can put dummy information in here if you want to. If you're going to want help with this, you can put your email address in. It will email us and let us know what you're needing. So here we go. We're going to come in here and we're going to say, I want annual revenue. Let's just say my top line revenue is $2 million in my company. Okay. So what you're going to do is take this percentage and make it equal the dollar amount that will work for your company just by adjusting in here. So let's say it's 30%. Let's say I know my overhead is $600,000. That means I have a monthly overhead of $50,000. Now that may change, it may go up and down, but we're trying to find a minimum what we can sell at for our gross profit dollar amount. All right. Next thing you want is to know what is your anticipated profit. Let's just say we want to make 10% net profit for the year annually. That means that on $2 million, I'm going to make $200,000. That's $16,667 a month. Okay. We know that gross profit is overhead plus net profit, so the $600,000 plus the $200,000 is $800,000. So 30 plus 10 is 40. So my overhead plus net profit, or my gross profit, is 40%. Monthly, that's $66,667. Okay. Now, I'm going to take and I'm going to say a KPI over here is your key performance indicator, and you know that a company should have about $125,000 in sales per employee. Okay, so that means that this company at $2 million at $125,000 should have about 16 employees. Well, let's say that you have 15 employees. You know that you're a little bit over the KPI, so you're doing a little bit better than the KPI in terms of bringing sales to the company. And let's say that you have 11 outside employees. The KPI is 12. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. So every 3 people outside, you should have 1 person inside. And let's say they work 40 hours a week, and 75% of the time, the KPI is 85%. But let's say 75% of the time we know our guys are billing to the customer. My adjusted hours are 30 hours of actually billing because I'm working 40 hours, but I've got 75% of my time is actually billing time, which becomes $202 of gross profit per hour needed to be able to meet my goal of $800,000 in gross profit. Because technically, the only thing we need after our gross profit is our cost of goods sold. Okay, so I put a little thing in here that kind of tells you like what's the difference between overhead and cost of goods sold. So a big question dealers have all the time is, do officer salaries, do my truck expenses go into cost of goods sold, or where do they go? And so this will kind of tell you where that stuff goes. Now, I've also included down here an example of what happens when the 3 different ways that dealers typically price a job. So we've got the gross profit per hour model, which says that if I've got 12 hours of work at the $202 per gross profit hour, then my gross profit will be $24.24. So at $5,000 cost of goods sold, my selling price is $74.24. Notice my gross margin is only 32%. I don't really care if I'm bringing in my $24.24. You just got to make sure that your salesperson makes sure to put the total number of hours are going to be on the job, because that's what you've got to bring in. When you come down to the bottom here, the middle one is the markup model. Now the markup model is, and I have a lot of dealers say, well, you know what, we mark our stuff up 40%, thinking that that's a margin. Well, technically a 1.4 markup is a 28% gross margin. And in this case, on the same number of hours, I'm only bringing in $88 per hour. So to get to even at 33% margin, you got to be at 1.5 to get $109 gross profit per hour. That's the markup pricing model. Now, the current way we do it in our program is the GP percentage. And however you do it, you can look here at 40% margin. If you were to say markup, that's 1.7. So you take it up here to get to 40%, you've got to multiply times 1.7 on the cost of goods sold. So my selling price here is 83.33, and my gross profit per hour is 208. Quite frankly, it's technically near my 202. But the point is that on these lower cost of goods sold jobs, if I'm applying a 40% margin, I'm not getting to my 202. I almost have to go higher to get there. So if you're going to use the gross profit percentage, you just better make sure that you're increasing your gross margin percentage to be able to get to that same 202 number. Otherwise, use the model of the gross profit per hour or the gross profit per day, and then it would multiply times those amounts. So this will conclude this. It's always available to you to use. If you have any questions, you're welcome to give us a call. Our number is here. Anyone in our office should be able to run you through it, most everyone. If you've done this and you want to submit it to us, you can click submit and it will send it to us. We can look over it with you and kind of go over it, see what we can help you with. Thank you for watching this video.